Imagine a city, one built to be the literal center of the world, a perfect circle designed with an almost cosmic precision that became, for a time, the biggest and smartest city on the planet. This is the story of the legendary Round City of Baghdad. So let's go back to the year 762 CE. The Abbasid caliph al-Mansur picks this very spot, right on the banks of the Tigris River. Now, this wasn't just about a nice view. It was a strategic masterstroke. This location was the ultimate crossroads for trade, connecting the whole empire, and really the known world. For a while there, every road and every new idea led straight to Baghdad.
But here's the truly astonishing part. I mean, it's almost hard to believe. Despite its incredible size and importance, the original Round City well, it's just gone. There are no ruins to tour, no ancient walls to walk along, nothing. And that is the huge mystery we're going to dig into today. How does a masterpiece of urban planning, a city that was home to maybe over 1 million people, just disappear off the face of the earth? So yeah, our investigation really starts right here, with this bizarre paradox of a city that was both an architectural wonder and a complete ghost in the archaeological record. Just think about this for a second. We've got historical records telling us it took over 100,000 workers to build this thing, a city that was 2 kilometers across. And yet, modern Baghdad has completely swallowed up its ancient heart, leaving us with basically nothing to go on. How did it all just get erased? Okay, so since we can't exactly go there with a shovel, we have to rebuild it in our minds. And luckily for us, people at the time wrote down everything. Let's take a look at the blueprint they left behind. Now that circular shape, that was absolutely deliberate and packed with meaning. Caliph al-Mansur was a huge admirer of the Greek mathematician Euclid. So this perfect circle was his tribute to logic, to order, and to a universe that he saw as divinely organized. And the scale, I mean, it was just immense for the 8th century. A city planned from scratch to be almost 2 kilometers wide, that was a completely unprecedented level of ambition. The whole design was like a set of rings, one inside the other, creating this clear hierarchy of power. On the very outside, you had a huge defensive wall and a deep moat. Move in one layer, and you're in the ring for regular homes and busy markets. Then, another powerful wall protecting the government, the real heart of the empire. And right at the very center, well, the center was a world apart. It was exclusively for the caliph. The 4 grand gates, each one named for a part of the empire it faced, funneled you through these long avenues straight to the central plaza. And there, you'd find the incredible Golden Gate Palace and the Great Mosque, symbols of his total spiritual and political power. The overall effect was just completely awe-inspiring. A writer from the 9th century, Al-Jaz, he put it perfectly. He said it was like the city was cast into a mold and poured out. You know, this wasn't a city that grew messy over time. It was a single perfect vision, executed flawlessly. But the story of the Round City, it's about so much more than just the architecture. The myths that sprung up around its creation, they were just as important as the actual bricks. Get this. There was this prophecy, the prophecy of Miklas. Local Christian monks told the Caliph al-Mansur about a legend that a guy named Miklas was destined to build a great city on this exact spot. And the caliph, how convenient, revealed that Miklas was his childhood nickname. True or not, it basically wrapped the whole project in this cloak of destiny right from the start. So who was the real brains behind the operation? Legend has it that al-Mansur himself traced the city's perfect circle in ashes on the ground, but a lot of historians think it's way more likely that he had help from his very experienced architects, like the Persian Khalid ibn Barmak. What's pretty clear, though, is that al-Mansur wanted everyone to believe he was the sole creator, the one true architect of this new world. So what was this all about? Was it a grand statement about the cosmos, a map of the heavens brought down to earth, echoing old Persian ideas about kingship? You know, it's a really compelling idea, but the historical texts don't actually say so. It might have just been a really practical, defensible layout. The mystery just makes the myth even better. For all its perfection and all its grandeur, this ideal city, it only really existed in that perfect form for a surprisingly short time. Its physical end came fast, and it was brutal. I mean, just look at this timeline. Less than 50 years after it's finished, it's already getting wrecked in a civil war between the caliph's sons. Then comes the really catastrophic blow in 1258, the Mongol siege that completely ended the Abbasid Caliphate. And whatever little bits might have been left, they were finally torn down in the 1870s by an Ottoman governor who wanted to modernize the area. And just like that, the physical city was gone. But this is where the story takes its most fascinating turn. Because as the physical city literally disappeared from the ground, the idea of the city, that became immortal. Its real identity was built not in stone, but in words. It got all these glorious names. Madinat al-Salam, the city of peace. It was called the Dome of Islam, heaven on earth, and of course, the city of the 1001 Nights. Poets like Al-Uzari weren't just describing a place. They were raising it up into a paradise. Baghdad transformed into a landscape of the imagination, a powerful symbol of a lost golden age. The city people remembered became this cultural touchstone, representing the absolute peak of Islamic civilization. It wasn't just a place that was lost. It was an ideal. It became this object of deep nostalgia, something to be mourned and longed for centuries. And this all brings us to our final and maybe most profound question. Did the imagined city, the myth, end up becoming more real and more powerful than the city that was actually built? I mean, think about it. The physical city had flaws. It was fleeting. It was damaged, abandoned, and finally completely erased. But the idea of a perfect round city at the center of the world, that has fascinated people for over 1,000 years. The myth totally outlived the reality. And that's really the question the Round City of Baghdad leaves us with. Can the story we tell about a place, the myth we build around it, become more powerful and more lasting than its physical walls ever were? It seems like sometimes the most powerful cities aren't built of stone at all. They're built of stories.